Hello, it's Samantha. Time for my personal thoughts and opinions about the shootings and then the killing of officers. First of all, I have to say that all lives matter. There is racism of black people, there's racism of white people, racism or religion issues, lots of different things. Just because you don't hear in the news that a white person was killed by an officer doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. I am not sure how. I didn't read up on these shootings. I did see the live video, which I'm not sure if I would necessarily call that courageous, that you went live right after the love of your life got shot and your child is in the back seat. I'm not sure that that's something that would be easily be able to do. All people do different things, but me personally, an eye for an eye is not okay. There are good cops out there. There are bad cops out there. There are good Muslims out there. There are bad Muslims out there, which most Muslims won't even consider them Muslims because they're just extremist people. There are good Christians out there. There are bad Christians out there. There are good Jews. There are bad Jews. There are good black people out there. There are good white people out there. There are bad white people out there. There are bad black people. I mean, there's bad in everything you do, but not just because two people made a decision, right, wrong, or indifferent, and in some cases, at least what I see all over Facebook, these were wrong. I wasn't there. I wasn't in the situation. I'm not going to feed into the media. I'm not going to say one way or another. But just because two officers made a decision does not entitle anybody to go out there and shoot somebody else, especially a police officer. There are plenty of police officers out there protecting and serving. And I will tell you, if I get pulled over by a police officer, I'm whiter than white can get. I get nervous. You don't know what kind of day they've had. You don't know what they've seen. You don't know what's going on. But I grew up in a household where I respect anybody as long as they respect me. And it is yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, do everything that I can. I'm not saying it's okay for cops to shoot first and ask questions later, but you're not inside the head of these police officers. You don't know what they've seen. And it's easy for all of us to get on Facebook, put what we believe, what we think should have happened, what we think shouldn't have happened, etc., etc. You don't know. It's just like saying, how do you react when somebody does XYZ? You don't know. You don't know what people are feeling. You don't know what people are dealing with. Just because they look perfect to you and me, you don't know if they have post-traumatic stress syndrome. You don't know if 30 minutes earlier they had somebody pull a gun on them. You don't know the situation. But going after people and killing people, especially when protests were done way back in the day for non-violence. You don't go after violence with violence. You don't do that. It's time to fix this country. It's time to teach people how to love each other, how to respect each other, how to live in unison with each other. Quit bagging on the presidential candidates. I don't like either one of them, but that doesn't mean you have to sit there and go after them. So what? There's other choices. There will be other people on the ballot. But to just spit this hateful stuff, I got hated yesterday. I had somebody who treated me like I was nothing but a piece of poop online and tried to play the victim. And I said, you know what, Samantha, you have to just get over it. People think they're big and bad on Facebook. They know everything because they're on Facebook. They can put whatever they want to put. Put yourself in some situations. Don't let the media drive you to whatever is possibly going on out there. You don't know. For the countless videos we've seen of people getting killed of a different race, how many gay people are getting killed every day just because they were born that way? How many white people are getting killed by black officers? That's not in the news. And you can't tell me that racism doesn't go both ways. If it didn't, 5 police officers would not have been killed yesterday or last night or whenever it happened. We need to start figuring out how to love each other. And if you need to figure it out, watch a Disney movie called Zootopia. It explains it perfectly of what is going on in this world right now. It breaks my heart. I can't even let my child who wants to see a video of herself on Facebook, I can't even let her look at Facebook because my news feed is filled with shootings or hating or you've got to be against this person or against that person or what the crap is this person doing? It doesn't matter. I love you, black, white, Asian, Mexican, it doesn't matter. Jewish, Christian, Muslim, I don't care. As long as you respect me, I'm going to respect you. And if an officer pulls me over, do I carry a gun? No, I don't. That's my choice. But at the same time, I would let them know. I don't think you should have your gun on while you're driving because if somebody pulls you over, they don't know if your license if your license is in your pocket, they don't know where that gun is. And they're looking in that car. They don't have an idea of exactly what's going on. I'm not saying it's right for what happened, but I'm saying you have to look at it from both sides. Stop letting the media feed all of these different things. And when you look at that live video of that lady with that man in that car, you hear the officer crying. You hear what the officer said he needed to do. We don't know what happened before that live feed. Don't judge every single thing by what you see in the media. I know it's hard to do. I was there when the Florida thing happened with the alligator. My first thought was, where are the parents? But we can't think like that. We have to think about in that moment. There was a video the other day with a child that got snatched, and thankfully the mother was able to get her back. But it happens that quickly, folks. You just don't know in a split second what can happen. Doesn't matter if you're the best parent on the planet. We have to start loving each other. We have to start, protest all you want, but do a non-violent protest. Learn from your superiors. Martin Luther King Jr., he did all of his protests with no violence. People might have gotten violent, but he tried to do it with no violence. That's what we need to do. Spreading more hate and more violence only makes it worse. Do you think every officer wakes up today and they're worried about what's going to happen? Absolutely. But there are people out there doing what they need to do to protect us. Think about that the next time you have an emergency. Thanks, guys. Bye.